Found my belt. Wonder why it's called Seven Nation Army. Wonder why AWOL Nation makes me think of it. Wonder why. I wonder it all. Am I notionalistic? Am I opportunistic tune folk with a misfit for a tongue malinator? Pretty sure I got everything that's called Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminators. Midi-chlorians, I ate them for breakfast. Then I spit them bitches back out and had E&J instead and said, yes, this is the first step. Are you taking all those journeys on the walls of your psychiatrist's office that you're standing in? And if you're standing in your living room and you found a cave and you don't even know that you've been living in Symbiote's maze, and that's the beginning of Falcon, so I know I'm already there. So it's just another fucking Bruce Willis movie that I liked. Holy shit, it still had no hair. Anyways, I like Seven Nation Armies. I like 9 Nation Nails. I like 10 Nation 10s. And I like 10 Nation 010 Cat Williams that never fails. Anyways, edification is not always the easiest thing for me to practice initially. You know what happens when you see exponential growth rates explode from economic crises? Usually that always suck instead of blow in the wrong places and blow instead of suck in the wrong places. Now here's how we repurpose that. What I was going to say has been forgotten. What I'm saying right now is almost the same as what I said to Sodom. So if you didn't realize that I was actually there at both the destruction of Sodom and the destruction of Saddam Hussein in South Park at the same time, and here now at the same time as that's happening now, in the Wayback Machine, it doesn't even cross the plane that we go on, but the Way Forward Machine already did, and I'm on it, and I'm on. So if you didn't know, I said to what I said? I said to God, your mom. That's what he said. I don't have a mother. I said, are you sure? I'm saying, if God, this is higher thinking right now. Can I say it, Father? Can I say it, Father? I just need to say it. Seven Nation Army said it. They're my cheerleader right now, sir. It's their fault if this is wrong. Just have to say, AWOL Nation, about to run. Ooh, don't say it. Okay, I won't say it. Guess what I say? This right here. Look. I'm making art right now for Chanel West Coast and Madison Beer. I just thought that was a good mashup like this is, to get a multi-dimensional analysis of something other than my facial hair and the fact that I'm missing a piece of a tooth and not from methamphetamine use. I was jaundiced as a baby because I'm mustard seed as fuck. Creation is kind of my, not my maybe, it's my plus everything. I like it. And it sucks instead of blows. You know what blows? Blow guns. You know what blows? Blowers. You know what blows? People who air up balloons. You know what blows? Tanks that have compressed gas that makes you laugh that come from veterinary clinics that you might not want to actually steal. You might want to ask if you can have one. It's like 50 gallons of gas. You know how much laughter you can get out of that? Not as much as you can get out of me for just some sexual favors. Chanel West Coast, Madison Beer. They're not really favors if I'm your husband, though. I just have to say, Solomon had 1,000 wives. Yes, it does say El Shaddai on my other. And if you know the truth like I do, you know that where 2 or more are gathered in your name, El Shaddai, Lord God Almighty, El Elyon, Allahu Akbar, El Shaddai, Elohim, Adonai, on Jupiter, and Oshun, Orion, and Hananiah, Yahweh, Yeshua, Ka, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, those are his ... etc. dots. There's 4 lights. I'm one of them. So get used to it. Now, if you don't think I'm illuminating enough, if you don't think I'm like real and I don't fit in, guess what? I don't. I'm supposed to be. Heparit and Soli. Heparit and Soli, I was supposed to be kept. Heparit and Soli, I was supposed to be kept. If you don't stand in phasic Latin yet, then you are not in the trend that I'm setting. And guess what? My trend set other trends that set life empires and families and bring cosplay back in a big way with BDSM and not sin my way. So anyways, do you know it's really easy to follow the rules when you know what they are I know he's telling you that you're wrong. And when you don't think that you're better than God, you're God, or you're going to fight Satan for his throne or something. I'm pretty sure he doesn't spend much time on his throne. And on top of that, you don't fight Satan. No, the battle's already been won. And if you missed it, no weapon forged against him shall prosper. I just didn't think you caught that line when it said that. It was actually referring to him as well, I would bet. Right? Because he's been in that story for a lot longer than whoever's listening to this shit. And guess what? I met him in this life once, at least. So I'm pretty sure I knew who I was talking to, and I didn't even ask to talk to him right away. I went and talked to the Father first. I said, God, I know I might be a little audacious right now, and humbly on my knees asking you at a crossroads that's not all the way through, because at Crusader Park we have a crossroad. You know, you got the T crossroads that are like the capital T ending, like a 90-degree bookend with a perpendicular angle out of it called a fucking line that goes away from it. Cross street that's not actually crossing because it ends in the park. It starts back up at the other side. Technically, the Crusader Park is the waypoint marker / crossroads section is in the circle with the people with the dead names on the bricks that are like consecrating that whole area. It's basically we offer to the dead. Thank you for putting that under our children's feet. Just like making cryptocurrencies and thinking that it's going to be sweet, over relating to that which is either frozen, okay, which I'm cold as fuck. I know about frozen, but that's not the kind of frozen we want unless it's just in my chef and I can still enjoy this shit and not have to be Midas fucked without getting sucked ever and enjoying it. So here's the thing. No, this is no flex zone according to my headphones, because my headphones broke. They're still hanging around my neck. Guess what? They even know to hang out and listen to this shit. This shit's got its own respect. It's got its own zip code, its own equator, its own motherfucking gravitational pull and axis. You get close enough to this shit, you'll realize that there's something faster than worldwide choppers. Yeah, it's God's cataleptic accident. And I just have to tell you right now, God doesn't make accidents unless they're on purpose. So if you've ever had one of those, you know what it's like to be in Bizarro's circus. And yes, I like to use Bizarro sometimes, because guess what? He had my respect at gasoline and antifreeze. Because I was using motherfucking honey barbecue sauce last night and a motherfucking plastic girlfriend called a sports bottle. So motherfucking trigger, please. Anyways, I was just saying, D12, I was at least D69 3/4 last night just to beat the shit out of a rainbow head I know. Now, I would never want to beat the shit out of him because I don't like getting hit in the face. But guess what? If I can motherfucking take the rainbow back from LGBTQ and take it back from Skittles head over there and take it back from fucking White Iverson's Paul Blanco mouth and get my own nominated Gator crystal ball, disco ball grill from Paul Wall so I can fix my whole teeth problem in one motherfucking plug and then go find me a dentist that's Jewish or Muslim and will take care of me and not let me die in their chair. That'd be nice too. Then I get $10,000 grill and I'm all shiny and pretty again. You know, it's not gonna be all Santana Row going, Chanel, what are you doing with Madison Beer's underwear that she wasn't wearing in your mouth? And why is there Madison Beer's hand around your mouth from the back while you're getting something else taken care of from the back? All I know is Farrah Abrams ain't got shit on what I got coming, baby. God got stuff so big and so awesome that kids will never see and understand until they get to where they're supposed to. That's amazing, and I know how to better do it than everybody else on this planet so that we can be awesome without fucking up the next 60 generations of God's children. Anyways, that's my little bit of my soapbox for my levantates and my clean stuff. I have another section, right, that goes just like the song right now. It's like crossing through sections to a new part of the song. And if you ain't been with me so far, then Ableton Live is our shit when you're God. So like Coca-Cola, my Cameo, and my motherfucking plug, right? Always original, always refreshing. God's choice. He said so. His family, El Shaddai. Jewish, Muslim, Christian, you are his. All of you. Every one of you. If you thought you were Buddhist and worshipped a God that was obesity, you were wrong. That God never existed. He was a man once. He had some good shit to write. You know what they came from? God. Okay? Guess what else? The Quran came from God's angel to his people so that the Ishmaelites would have the guidance they needed. That wasn't original sin. Wow. Because the Word of God's original sin. So what can children learn? A lot of stuff from Qurans they can't learn from the Bible. Why? Because they're not supposed to know original sin. Oh my God, so that means we already have something that's amazing called Coca-Cola that doesn't burn through your intestines and your stomach like Pepsi does. Pepsi should be in the automotive section only, or renamed Junior Coke, and both at the same time. So, I don't want world dominion. Satan already has dominion over the world. It was guaranteed, and he still does. You know why? It was given to him in trust, was it not? Imagine that. You know why? Because God doesn't have anything to worry about from doing that from him. It's considering we are already in hell. Guess what I like to do? Recruit from the bottom, take them to the top. And if you thought you were in the top because you have Chanel West Coast on your label, oh, you don't? Why not? Does Chanel West Coast have her clothing line yet? Why hasn't she got somebody to get Chanel for her so she can own Chanel? Or absorb them with an exuberant fucking markup for all products, except in third world countries, or something cool like that. Now, I mean, I got ideas, but see, I come up with like 16,000 a day, and they're all $1 trillion ideas. You know what kind of bubble that makes the next bubble look like proportionally to the last one? Like the internet could fucking shut off right now, and I can still do this without it, sort of. Now, all I know is the first bubble was what, 5 trillion? The one we had? 5 trillion? More? So about $1 trillion bubble. Okay, the next one is like 100 times that. I just have to point that out. To the 10th power. It's a proportional jump. You have to raise it to the 10th power. You raise 10 to the 100th power? Oh, there's the proportional jump, whatever that is. Anyways, it's like a lot. Just remember this as kind of a rule of thumb if you know anything about gauging distance based on a shadow of one object or the height of another object, like a tree and its shadow, and then a building and its shadow or whatever. You can triangulate distance, angle, all types of shit from those things, right? It's cool shit, actually, right? But who the fuck cares? You know what that is? You're exposing the lines that were spent blurring for children. All right, so we need to go more abstract in our world, right? However, more beautiful is better. And aesthetics and attention to detail shrouds detail perfectly. Gordon Ramsay can tell you that. He's that guy in that realm and arena. And he has a guy that's more him than he is, like Diet Dr. Pepper is with Dr. Pepper. In that realm or arena, or in an adjoining or even unrelated arena. That's guaranteed, right? I just covered all bases right there. That knows it better than he does. Some way, somehow, this person knows it better than Gordon. And Gordon knows that and doesn't hate him because he got respect out of that shit, even if they don't like to work in the same building, probably. If they do, then they learned how to work some shit out and got over some street tents, some falsehoods, some figurative language, and literally are raping everybody for fucking street cred every day. Hand over expo checking plates before they go out. And so anyways, exposés are kind of my thing, because I'm not a whistleblower, but remember Blow My Whistle, Chanel? That was a good song, just like Cyclone. You know, bump, 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 Y2K, B2K, whatever it was good. You know what this is what I like. Omarion, he did Touch, right? If you didn't see the Omarion Touch video, it's kind of like B2K went solo, like the same old story. Band semi-breaks up, one guy goes off and does other thing. Now, if that's a different guy, it doesn't matter. Same scenario. If it's the same guy, it doesn't matter. I just don't remember Omarion was actually in B2K. He should have been. It would have been great. They can always do a reunion with Usher, Maya, Pink, and Cisco. Guess what? If they're all still alive, any of them are unmarried, I like those too. Solomon had 1,000 wives, 300 of them were concubines. Okay, most of my brothers, men, uncles, sons, children, daughters, we all have multiple wives. We've always had multiple wives. As far as I know, I've never seen a world where we've been in a place where we didn't. It's weird. It's fucking weird. And you know what it does? It makes man immoral more times than it doesn't. on a fucking scale. This shit has caused more problems for our children as an after result and a byproduct that is supposed to be completely stamp-outable. I said stamp-outable. You got kids gloves. Everything has to take on a G rating and shit in a different way, though. Because the G rating is figurative. And if you give them the key to figurative language, woe to your ass for sitting and talking. Yeah, better be on Millstone Alley trying to lift weights like Mulan and shit. So when you get the millstones, you can climb the pole and run the fucking Japanese military into sacrilege, heresy, treason, and fucking redemption, all in the same episode of Mulan. Now, I can do this with everything in existence. I can break it down to its constituent elements multidimensionally and in any direction. Connect it with everything. Connect it with the things that it's supposed to be connected to, primarily and foundationally, and show you explanations that don't exist yet in your mind. So anyways, let's go. If you imagine you even give a fuck about anything after this life, and staying young and getting life after this life, and staying the way you look and happy like you are for a long time, as long as I choose until God says so, I'm pretty sure I win. So if you like anything like comedy, laughing like a gay dolphin that's beautiful as fuck and wears the best shit ever on every episode I ever saw, and I didn't even know it was called Ridiculousness for a long time, and this is a lie, but it's a great one because it's the first one I told a long time because of you, Chanel. Delilah must be working overtime on your ass, or mine, or both. And guess what? She don't touch my booty hole, so I already know which side she's on in mine. Anyways, yeah, like, all I know is there's nobody that does open-toed, pigeon-toed, sitting there on the couch, look with striped, horizontal striped sweater with perfectly perfect I Dream of Jeannie hair. Like she is out the bottle. And the bottle was Snoop Dogg's motherfucking sound booth that he had on Pitch Perfect 2 that he was red as fuck surrounding the man of blue with a blunt in his mouth singing a Kiss from a Carol. Happy as fuck. High as fuck. Because he just hit Fat Amy like 3 times in the booty hole. And she liked it. So all I can say is if I accidentally am able to get you across the $2 billion mark before any other woman alive right now, wouldn't you want to at least check it out? Fuck it, $3 billion. Let's shoot for, it's all magic beans for a beanstalk. Personally, I like the Wonka Vader better than the beanstalk, so I'm pretty sure that West Coast choppers can figure out how to make a West Coast Wonka Vader chopper that flies, the best one. And guess what? I know how to do materials research, fabrication, motherfucking steelworking, milling, lathing, pretty much anything in a machine shop, either mechanical, industrial, or personal, rural, residential, and commercial. I know about everything that exists with Euclidean understanding of Leonardo da Vinci's fucking human body rendition, right? If I were to call myself any one thing, behold, my chosen, my elect one, in whom I am well pleased. I've placed my spirit upon him. I would be the living embodiment of everything that is Isaiah, Job, Jonah, and Jacob, Joseph, Jeremiah, and I'm sure Obadiah, because I like harlotries, like pancakes with syrup. Anyways, I know what sin is. I know what sin isn't. I know what's right. I know what's wrong. I know what's going to matter on Judgment Day when you're in fucking hot seat. I got a company called Mercy Seat Inc. that God inspired me to make. And that address is in a fucking park called Tuolumne River Bike Trail Park next to my hometown, in my hometown, between Bistrom and fucking Modesto, California. I didn't even know Bistrom was a thing until 3 days ago, damn near. I've been here all my life. You want to know how old I am? You're going to have to ask the vampire fucking Lestat in the first scene of the movie Queen of the Damned. Find out if you can resurrect Leah or at least seance her spirit back, which you should not try at all. Ever. Don't ever do that. I'm just saying in jest. Neighbor. Anyways, Chanel West Coast, if you're listening to this, there's a girl I need to introduce you to other than Madison Beer, though, because you already know her. I don't know either one of you yet. Personally, I'm praying that I do. And I'm not really, I think her name's Sadist or Sadistic Bitch or something. She's got the 666 on her hand. And she says this: I understand if you follow people because they're cute, I'm pretty fucking sure I'm cute. And you're not following me. I don't know what the fuck you were doing, smoking your life away. Or something like that. Cat Williams would approve of this message if he knew me personally. Because he doesn't, he might call me a whole bunch of bleep bleeps and bleep bleeps. And I just have to caution him that I've never been called properly bitch before. Okay? What I have been called, because I called it to myself one day in a smoke shop, I said, my name's not bitch, my name is bitches, plural, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Because I get them all when I want to. And I want to right now, so I'm waiting. And I don't play the waiting game too well. You know what I do? I create empires and fucking fluctuate entire financial currency markets until they capitulate and do my way better. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they do my way better. Because guess what? I do. I start shit good, and I finish amazingly because I like to do the money shot. The middle shit, that's Pete J. Cole's fucking area. That's Hobson's area. That's Eminem's area. The middle children of our society. Now, you might argue that they are the rim runners. They are the extremes. They are the outer rim. But they are so thoroughly enmeshed in all that is the middle. You know what I'm saying? That there's symbiosis, so to speak, or symmetry that exists and correlates with the rest of the balancing system that's constantly finding states of equilibrium. They telegraph that shit. It's the whole concept of the Dominion War in Star Trek, Deep Space Nine. Look, attack as a giant military body that's running toward everything that you can to invade, overtake, and imperialize all that you know so that you can conquer and own that shit. All our bases belong to us. It's actually all your bases belong to us, but it's so mindfucked the way it's written. God code on Zug Zug. Warcraft, the original. So, Shinoa's code, footnote. The world of Warcraft is calling you. Shadowlands and Sylvanas wants you to come personally and open your account right now if you don't have one. And if you know Mila Kunis, you should probably get with her and Penny from Priceline first. Get a bag of Cheetos, put Cheetos in your hair with Madison Beer, and play Naked World of Warcraft on Madison's account, the show everyone, hopefully, and Mila Kunis' account. Then all you have to do is have my retires. Guess what happens then? Swish. And John Legend ain't got shit on me right now. Now, I need somebody that you know personally, if you don't want to play Heroditis in my new play. And if you know that name, then guess what? We can play a lot. And we don't have to ever try to be children again. We just got to act like children forever. And that's great, because I know how to be one without acting. Even if I know original sin, because I get to turn back the hands of the sands of time that don't have hands. Guess what they have? Rock of salvation. That's why I like methamphetamine and not crack. It's more rocky. Or not. This is why I've been trying to figure out Cat Williams' recipe. He didn't really explain it good on the show. He was like, I don't know the recipe. Put water in, baking soda, stir it up. I guess there's heat added or something. So I was thinking, I had this thought, right? Because I red and white is kind of my thing. It's one of my favorite colors, right? And so I just have to say, when you show up after dying and realize that, you might actually be God or his temple, you have one or two thoughts. And one of them is, who is Jonah? And why do I need to reference his ass right now when I'm feeling this kind of way, like gym class rope just wrapped around my neck instead of between my legs? And I'm not Wayne's World at all. I feel like, Peter Whalen took a shit all over me, and Ridley Scott wrote about me in a movie and turned me into an alien-looking ass predator for Sammy Davis Jr.'s Danny Glover rendition to go and fucking kill me in Predator 2 crossover before the crossover. So now if your mind is like really swimming, I'm pretty sure I'm stirring it and I'm winning. So here's what you do with your mind. You think every moment of every day that this motherfucker, okay, Michael Allen Home, Clout Bayuk Shaddai, named lastly after his father, and firstly after my eye. Michael literally means like God, of God, like gift of God. With Jonathan, it's gift of God, a gift from God. And I love that because it's that. Elohi Israel, God of Israel. Elohi Israel, the most high God of Israel, high God of Israel, the beloved God of Israel is what I'm going to say right now. West Coast, you are Codice Yahweh. That's one of my favorite words because this other girl that I know, she is Codice Yahweh, and I need you to give me the skinny on this girl and how she meets up and matches up with somebody named Purple Bitch. Because the girl I'm thinking of, she's like probably the only alabaster white pearlescent skin China doll, like looking into the iris, the white part and shit of God's eye when he's smiling at you, and a rainbow breaks out of his cheeks and shit and gives him dimples or something. Like that's what this girl makes you think of when you look at her face. You know what you make me think of when Johnny Mnemonic, and I got a helmet on, and I am trying to use low tech to hack into a high tech fucking world to save us all from NAS, which is black shakes. When I realized that Chanel West Coast probably is a prime proponent and supporter of things like, how do I say it? Hacked, heeched, or he, if you want to say it like that. I changed all the B's to H's for propriety's sake, I guess. So you can tell our great-great-grandchildren, hopefully, or at least yours if you're still around, good stuff without having bad stuff be like on the forefront of their tongues at every dinner table. So that'd be bad. Because if you ever saw the episode of South Park where, the girls got led to the Jonas Brothers fucking, back room during the concert and they were ready to perform a whole bunch of stuff that third graders shouldn't be doing. And they ended up with purity rings for the efforts. I'm just going to say, if you can still be on deck to be the ones from that, that witnessed Mickey Mouse almost kill the Jonas Brothers in their room right before Super Godzilla Barbara Streisand showed up. Cartman wasn't there to save the day, really. He was too busy, I think, trying to save Clyde from Make Love Not Warcraft, another episode that exists. So anyway, because they lost Clyde, so they lost Theo off the Highlands to the, Chomo-looking man with the fucking carpal tunnel syndrome that had crumbs all over his chest that I look like sometimes if I was fat, but I'm skinny and healthy. So I'm very, very insistent, incipient, insipid, insidious, and a whole bunch of other insistent type of terminologies from good old Phoenician, Latin, Tamil, and Aramaic when it was heavenly before everything, and it was more like, call it Japantian, right? Japanese, Atlantean, Japantian. There, that's as close as I'm going to get to the heavenly language right now. Japantian or Japantian Yiddish. There's Yiddish on there. Japantian Yiddish. There you go. That's like a chimpanzee and a fucking kitten skittish. I don't know where the kitten's skittish for. Where the kitten's skittish for. Using here's what House MD would say. There is no thing that happens in a hospital that I cannot treat better with off-label uses of everything in the hospital than anybody can treat with the things that are diagnosed or for said thing that's going wrong with them and their reason for their visit. Simultaneously guaranteeing that the same off-label use will not only do that, but help him to ingeniously be the spearhead and front runner. As long as he has Operation Hide Behind the Dark, he's memorized. We already got James Earl Jones to send a message through the hotline, spiritnet.soul, and sent to, the remaining members of, Standing in the Shadows of Motown would be their contact right now because we don't have the other guy available. And, Denzel's kind of been, ad hocly fucking not there. I don't know why he's not here yet. Look, I sent a message and a plug. I sent Frito-Lay message. I sent the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, the LA Times, Sacramento Bee, Modesto Bee, multiple letters. I sent publishing companies letters. Hashtags Birmingham Stanislaus. Telling you about the tragic misappropriation of every kind of authority and power that you can actually fucking hypocritically impose upon people that don't deserve the punishment they're receiving by a lot. And they do at the same time, kind of. So to explain that, it would take a lot more time. I think it's 29 minutes, 06 seconds left. So I think the Japanese Cat Williams would say, that's not 29:010. And there's no reason to say 29:013 because there's not even an O in that motherfucker. So you just add an extraneous shit to sound good. Like when you said 60606 in our reference in Chicago and Da Brat for some reason because she got good music that I listened to in back 2001. You know what I'm saying? And so what do you like? I like Madison Beer, Chanel West Coast, awesome stuff. And I like making beautiful, awesome things. And there is a few hacks I found recently in the system that I will keep for my patent attorney And I have some equations that I'll also keep for Jeff Goldstein, who's supposed to, Jeff Goldstein? Or John, I think it's Jeff. Whatever, he has the same name as Jeff Goldblum down there. They're both Jewish. They're both assholes right now because they both don't answer motherfucking God for some reason. You know what I'm saying? This is supposed to be his biggest fan, so I thought Stan would like to hang out. You know, we're in the backwards positions. Guess what? You think God was going to show up in Christian Gray's outfit with his libido, walk up and fucking sweep you off your feet and marry you? And say that, oh, I'm glad you stayed the way you are. Chanel, I'm God, and I'm going to sweep you off and give you everything you don't have. And I'm looking at you and saying, I'm pretty sure first is last and last becomes first. So if first wants to stay first, then they better hook up with somebody that's last. That's a guaranteed switcheroo that I like because I've seen it before. And guess what it does? Tablinette all over that ass, which always benefits the children as long as they don't know about that ass. You know what I mean? So anyways, it is a thing. See, here's the thing. I live in a world where I want to see the ability to motherfucking walk, have Skin Diamond, walk Holly Hendricks, and motherfucking Bonnie Rod and Piper Perry, Chloe Temple, Elsa Jean Piper Perry, and Riley Reid, and, you know, Havana Ginger and Sasha Grey, and, you know, fuck it, Alanis Morissette if she's not married, you know, Chanel West Coast, Madison Beer, and probably the girl I'm talking about, Sadistic Bitch, or Miss Sadistic, or Sadistic, Queen Sadistic, something like that. Oh, yeah, so that one. Yes. So I'm advertising you to Chanel West Coast right now. So if you're hearing me now, Sadistic one, you know, with my number on your hand, 60, that's okay. God will verify for you that there is nobody more man right now than me on this planet that he didn't put here knowing they were man on this planet before I realized 6 years ago. I think that's right. Okay, yeah, I like that one. Anyways, I have to make sure I cover all my movies. Look, when you think like I do, you can't roll a blunt without understanding ozone layer extrapolations and motherfucking strip club placements in my future paradise, FetLife, cosplay, Ahiago, and BDSM. Yes, Modesto's New Jerusalem, and yes, you can move here with me. Yes, you can be one of my fucking princesses, because if I make you a queen, you might win the hearts of a fucking nation, and then I have to kill you for fucking being idolized like a god, and you get me kudos that God's supposed to get. So we won't go down that path. Anyways, here's the thing. If we are icons because we are good role models, or we have something special about us that people can look up to and say, that's my preference, or that's part of what I want to look at, or that's part of what I like, and it's beautiful, then you will agree with me that this is absolute shit that I'm about to show you. The most beautiful thing I saw was the shit I just made, and it had that and that in it with this gold chain, right? Random ass placement. You know why? Because I wanted your mind to tell me what it meant to you without me interjecting anything of what my mind would put on it as English or spin, right? And so what happens is I get to see what a mind of a child, a mind that hasn't been completely open to the shit that I know, makes of that without my influence and without my understanding of what you might come up with ahead of time. That way, in that hour, God can give me what to speak, and it'll be righteous without taint that I bring to it. Now, if I bring spin and English and finesse, guess what? He showed up twice then, right? Because even if I thought I was fucking guilty of doing it right, guess what? Father, am I okay to not give a fuck if I know if I was right or wrong? And that's the kind of response I should get. It's like, he asked the right question, or he asked a question that's stupid, unnecessary to show off. Both the right answers, so it's irrelevant. And then when he says it's relevant, because I say this, and I'm like, I'm sorry, God, you know, and then guess what? Guess what? The proper position for submission is, right? Chanel, you know this inherently, I pray. You know what I'm saying? You know, where is it? Where should I get when I'm scared of my God and I may have wronged my father? Right? It's not. Look, Muslims do it all the time. I don't know why Americans don't do it more. You know? Allah means God in Arabic, and Ishmaelites are brothers. And if you're Jewish and if you're Christian, you kind of got screwed by something that nobody understood except for the people that made it. I understand it better than all of them because God gave it to me, and I think I wrote it for him at some point. At least he told me that, and it was believable enough when he told me that I can explain how that's true, even if he says right now that I didn't write it, because I am it, and I'm living proof that it is everything that it claims to be, like lacking contradiction and confusion at all. Not one thing is contradictory in there. Not one is there following. No, because the only contradiction exists is the negative one that's cast down. I'm him right now. I was negative as fuck. You know what I'm not now? Negative. I'm an exponentiator. I got 2 negatives inside of me like propellers that are spinning so fast that they make everything exponentially higher, greater, better, chasing God's coattails of the ribbons of the celestial dust he's leaving behind, like he's driving warp speed in Robert De Niro's fucking Stardust. Blimpitronic fucking this is the end on Final Fantasy VII's Linkin Park fucking Sin trailer. I know it's a mouthful. All I know is, Chanel, I like everything that Skin Diamond, Bonnie Rodden, Holly Hendricks, Riley Reid, Piper Perry, Megan Ray, Sasha Grey, and Bridget Kirkcove, Kylie Ireland, Lucy Ty, Lily Ty, Chloe Temple, Abella Danger, and Adriana Chekchik have ever done that involved ProLab squirting and Chanel or Chanel fragrance or advertising and anything Louis Vuitton, I think. God, I hope that's right. All I know is when I saw J-Lo on Dolce & Gabbana shit, I was like, why the fuck should you fucking settle for that ass contract? Like, why? Was it a guarantee? Was it part of another one? Like, they slid it on Congress Hill, like, behind another bill? She's like, oh, you're also doing a Dolce & Gabbana shoot, and you don't want to, probably. Yeah, because we don't fuck with DG. You know what we fuck with? God. See, what Calvin Klein we fuck with, right? Because Euphoria and because Jesus. Now, what else? Yeah, if they would change the K to a C, we'd get all the Crips in one shot to jump over on board. And it don't hate on the Bloods at all because it's crowd control for them at the same time. Anyways, I'm talking about daughter swaps between nations. These motherfuckers are tripping on R. Kelly for shit that's completely not sin and legal in the eyes of God. All they do is marry him, and he would have been binding by Moses' law, not even God's law. So he would have fulfilled both. So he followed God's law, didn't follow the law that he was supposed to ignore because the mitigation Christ adds to the whole equation, and didn't fuck anybody's husband or wife and had permission slips from parents if they were a little bit considerably fluffer aged for a porn set rather than star age for a porn set. So we've made some really fucked up lines that don't even make sense and then drawn the right ones in the only industry kids can't even fuck with, so they don't know where the right lines need to be drawn. And then you gave them gender crises by the time they were 7 by teaching them shit that don't make no fucking sense about shit that's not supposed to be. And they got cheerleaders that never even fucking done the shit they're telling their kids is going to be okay for them in the future. Because they don't want to get fucking told they're a hateful person by a world that is a factor, and I can show you in every paradigmical realm of influence, understanding, education, explanation, and or oration, even in languages I don't yet know, I will figure a way out of fucking linguistic metal cerebral looking ass helmet like on Charles Xavier's head right into your mind right now, like I'm doing a Vulcan mind meld and I'm praying on my knees. God, thank you for everything and making me the way I am. Because why would I question my maker as the tradition? No, as to the craftsmanship and what he made me as. Master Potter doesn't need to be questioned about why he made me, Leslie. And if I question it, guess what? Fucking, I'm pretty sure he's not going to blast me for giving him a question. But I know out of respect, and I know enough, unfortunately, because of original sin, and fortunately because of the Word of God being original sin, I had a backup. Which means as soon as I got into it, I could become Sebastian from the Never-Ending Story and make sure that I followed that shit to the letter so we could rescue Atreus' horse from the swamps, and Rockrider could have rocks that had substance again and not have fucking radiator dope instead of real P2P that doesn't require me to use ephedrine. I just make the ephedrine from other off-the-counter pills that I can do without stripping Sudafed off the goddamn thing. And guess what? I'm pretty sure uncontrolled substance research, if I don't use flame and I alter the process a little bit, can get me motherfucking funding from the FDA and patent approval for psychospiritual, neurokinetic, whatever, bioneural, non-corporal, non-tactile communications, whatever we call it, higher than hi-fi fucking technology, whatever the fuck we want to call it. I'll call it Calify. Khalifa, Calify, medicated. I'll call it Calify. It'll be Cali as fuck, right? It'll be Khalees. It'll be DJ Khaled. It'll be Kuala Lumpur. It'll be Cal, Worthington, and my dog Spot wants to meet you, Chanel. Anyways, I can write better Hallmark cards than Adam Sandler. if you meet me in Modesto, Tinfieldville, small something, not me. Yeah, you know what I like is the fact that, see, I never got afraid or, fucked with by BBC much. You know why? Because there's something about something large just destroying something small like Kobe Bryant, and vaginal bruising and tearing was the only evidence there was on an 18-year-old blonde girl that looked like she was about 90 pounds soaking wet. I'm pretty sure Kobe Bryant had a struggle on his hand, and it wasn't one that he didn't get requested of him. So anyway, I just want to point it out there. I'm pretty sure he was innocent as a motherfucker. And he took the pussy and she wasn't mad. Until she realized she could get paid out of it because somebody else pissed in her ear and told her the wrong shit. Just like telling Martha. You can't tell Martha Stewart what she got told and not give her the proper channel to get through in order not to get fucked off by what she got told. That's kind of a dick move and a preemptive strike. So anyway, I know she wasn't tripping in a place that, promotes a whole bunch of things that cater to white women that have money. So anyways, yeah. If you look up on truthfinder.com under the registered sex offenders, you won't find me. You will find a whole bunch of white women between 45 and 75, I believe, that are committing crimes that most statutory rape people, like men that are like 20 with a 17 or 16-year-old, that go to prison because the DA picks up the case on a motherfucker where the parents were even approving of it. Now that's one extreme scenario on one end. The other extreme scenario is this, that Mr. O'Brien over here, which I don't want to use that name, Mr. Let's see, which one's Irish? O'Brien? That's Scottish? Okay, that's fine. Mr. O'Brien over here. I mean, I could have said McLeod, you know what I'm saying, from Lenford in Scotland, but he ain't been around for 39 years, but I'll still piss off the Scot because all they do is blow hard and get pissed. Oh, yeah, I'm some fucking bloody Irish, man. I don't fucking know what the fuck my line draws. Shit, I'm also Connor fucking McLeod, and I can't die because I'm immortal. And you know what that means? You can kill this flesh sometimes if God lets you. If that happens, guess what? He's calling me home, and I will be right fucking back with the sword of vengeance called Jesus. So anyways, I don't want to bring any other sword. Why would I send the wrong sword? Send the sword, you say, keep the rod of strength out of Zion, take Leviathan for a ride like Paul Muad'Dib, ride the sand dunes of the Sahara right through the middle of Africa, take the motherfucking Nexus portal through the void, pop up on the other side right in fucking Sheboygan, and then fucking take your ass to the motherfucking Pentagon, just wreck shop on everybody. And that is not the following statement. I have to make this disclaimer because my parents thought I was a domestic terrorist once before and a trap Arabic sympathizer. All I know is this is the Blake bloodbath music, right? Yeah, I know. It's turned into 42 minutes. I thought it was done a long time ago. You know what? It must be God inspiring me because Chanel's got that cute laugh. He knows he does. He's like, we were in jail together, and I'm like, God, you seeing this? Like, no. I'm like, look through my eyes. My eyes, your eyes, my eyes, and probably a really irrelevant mantra that it was working for me, right? And getting me closer to Father. So I do whatever it takes. I'm a kid. Trying shit won't work. Trying shit. Here, keep being a kid. Do it like kids. Unless you come to me like, I'm like, I can do that one. Because you know what I did when I was a little kid? Ooh, and my teacher was 2 years older than me. She was 7. Guess what? We did a lot of stuff every summer at the lake. And it was completely innocent. Why? One reason. Because there was no parents involved anywhere that I knew of at all. It wasn't like butterfly effect. That was fucked up shit. This was nice shit, right? All I know is I had girls stripping for me when I was 7 and they were 7 and 8, probably right there in the park where I lived. And it was cool because we were having a strip club right there. I didn't know what a strip club is. They didn't know what a stripper was. We didn't know what poles were. I didn't even know what mine did. I knew that that's what I wanted because I'd had it before. Fuck does a kid know that when he hasn't been exposed to it? Because I haven't even found my first porn mag. All I saw was my parents' junk one time. If that did that all to me at the same time, I'm pretty sure offering me to Molech wasn't doing shit then when they fucking conceived me on 7/4/1979. I was born on 4/7 after being conceived on the water crossroads, Lake Don Pedro, California. Thank you very much. And yes, I fuck with Hayabusa. So if you don't like Hayabusa, then I don't know about what the fuck you've been doing with your Suzuki or your Busa. Because I made up this title name for myself, and I was like, kid tested, got approved. It's called Bushiago Hayabusan Sasha Shogun. So if I am the samurai that Forrest Whitaker used to be before he broke the mountain, I'm pretty sure I'm not urban because I'm under a bridge and it looks suburban as fuck and rural, not at all. I'm in a park, a reserve, and a nature something. I was going to say hive, but every time I say the word hive, I start getting scared that the Red Queen's going to come over here and say, you're all going to die down here, and then all of a sudden lasers pop out and I'm in pieces. So if you ain't seen Something Worse Ways to Die, don't ever watch it. If you have, let's work on forgetting a whole bunch of ways with your money, your looks, your women, your friends, and your connections my way. I think that's a good idea. Now, if you're from 707, you already know what the fuck I'm talking about, so thank you. Have a good day.